Hello friends, welcome back to the CUT UG Political Science class. In today's class, we are going to see about the first chapter. The first chapter in the NCERT is about nation building and its problems. So in this chapter, we are going to see about the partition, what are the things happened during the partition, and how the leaders at that time faced those problems, and they took the important steps which had to be taken. Okay, so this is very important chapter to understand how we started up just after the partition. So let us see this. So what are the things which were there? First one is about the freedom which came with partition, and then an integration of the princely states was there. You know that there were 565 princely states which were there at that time, and we had to integrate them. And then internal boundaries of the countries, we know that earlier it was not like how we have the political map of India today. We had part A states, part B states, like that in our constitution, and later in the 1956 we have these language based states. So we are going to see these things and what happened, why we took that steps. What are the challenges of the new nation at that time? So the challenges of the new nation, you can see there were three kinds of challenges. Number one, after 1947 we have to keep the nation united. Number two, to establish democracy, which was another challenge. And number three, the third challenge was to ensure the development and well-being of the entire society and not only of some sections. So these were the three important challenges we faced that time, and we are going to see in this chapter how our forefathers, our leaders solved these issues. Okay, let us see partition and what was the displacement and the rehabilitation happened. So why Pakistan was created? It was based on the two nation theory which was propounded by the Muslim League. So they demanded Pakistan a separate state for Muslims. They thought like there are two different peoples, Hindus and Muslims, so they cannot reside in the same place. Okay, hence they wanted a separate country for Muslims. The Congress opposed this theory. Okay, and the demand for Pakistan, but several political developments in the 1940s. We have other organizations in the even among the Hindus, like they also spoke about the same thing, that there are two different nations like Muslims and Hindus, and so they cannot reside within India as one. So the political competition between the Congress and the Muslim League and the British rule led to the decision for the creation of the Pakistan. We can take this issue from what happened during the partition of Bengal. Okay, it was 1905. From that time onwards, this thing is happening, and there was a clear-cut divide between the Muslim League and the Congress. So the process of partition is very interesting. See, they wanted to have a country for Muslims where the Muslims are majority. The areas where the Muslims were in majority would make up the territory of the Pakistan, and the rest was to stay with India. So, but there was no single belt of Muslims within India. Okay, the Muslim majority there was no single belt, and there were no two areas concentration which are not contiguous. See, for example, in today's there is a Bangladesh and there is a Pakistan. So these are the two areas where Muslims are hugely, they are in majority. But these areas are not contiguous. Matlab, they are not close to each other. They are not adjacent to each other. They are far away. So how could you make a country like that? So that was very important issue. Secondly, not all Muslim majority areas wanted to be in Pakistan. For example, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan of the northwest frontier, he did not want to have a separate country for Muslims. And even within India today, there are so many areas where Muslims are there, and they did not want to go to Pakistan. They did not want a separate country. Thirdly, Punjab and Bengal, they had to be bifurcated according to the religious majority at the district and even to the lower level. So the worst affected two areas because of partition was Punjab province and the Bengal province. Okay, it was bifurcated. So these were the three important problems which had to be solved for the partition. So these arise because of the partition plan. So you can see the consequences of partition. People were migrating from Pakistan to India and from India to Pakistan. This is the place, because of the partition. People in the bifurcated Punjab and also in the Bengal, the thing was happening. A train full of refugees in 1947. So consequences of partition, if you can see that many of the regions became communal zones, especially Lahore, Amritsar, Kolkata, they were divided into communal zones. So forced to abandon their homes and move across borders, people went through immense problems, sacrifices. They had to leave all the money, and then there was a huge riots happening in these areas. Hence they were called as communal zones. So minorities on both sides of the border, they fled their home and often secured temporary shelter in the refugee camps, and that was the problem which they were facing. Not just division of property, but also there was a division of hearts. It is estimated that the partition forced about 80 lakh people. Can you imagine? 80 lakh, 8 million people at that time, they had to cross the border because they have to migrate because of the partition, and all about between 5 to 10 lakh people died because of this partition. So what is Mahatma Gandhi's role in during this partition? Mahatma Gandhi did not want India to be bifurcated. He wanted to have a united India. He played a very important role. Even he did not participate in the celebration of the independence. So he was there in the streets of Calcutta, and then he went to the streets of Delhi. So he was basically wanted to solve the communal riots. So wherever he went, the situation changed. So Gandhiji was basically, he was there in the streets of Calcutta and Delhi, so that he can solve these issues to the normalcy comes in these communal zones. So he basically he was stayed there, and he also wanted to have a good relationship between India and Pakistan. But what happened, or the tragic happened on 30th January 1948, when an extremist, Nathuram Vinayak Godse, he walked up to Gandhiji during his evening prayer and he shot him dead. So that was the sacrifice of Mahatma Gandhi. Let us see some of the questions on partition. This can come for your CUT exam. Who is known as Frontier Gandhi? The answer is Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. Okay, so this is the answer you need to know. CUT type exams, I will be telling you some of the questions as well. Which of these places are most affected by the partition? As I told you, it was Punjab as well as Bengal. So both A and B will be the answer for this question. How many people migrated during partition? So these are the questions which I just told you. It was around 80 lakh, 8 million people, they basically migrated. Okay, so this is the first part of my related to partition. We are going to see more important areas now. So the second part about this in this chapter is about integration of princely states. So integration of princely states is very important. Why? Because at the time of partition, we had 565 princely states. Okay, so almost 1/3 of the land area of British Empire was under princely states, and 1 out of 4 Indians lived under that. Okay, you have to know this number, how many princely states were there. So this could be a question for your CUT exam. 565 princely states were there. Okay, so till 1947 they enjoyed paramountcy. You know, when Queen Victoria's proclamation happened in 1858, okay, after the first war of independence, these princely states, they signed an agreement. It is called as the Treaty of Paramountcy, under which the princely states were given protection by the British. Okay, now what is happening is that the Treaty of Paramountcy is over. So the British announced that these princely states are independent and they can choose either India or Pakistan, or neither. They can even go as an independent country. So that was the choice which was given to the princely state. So paramountcy was over by Indian Independence Act 1947. This could be a question for you. Okay, which act ended the paramountcy of British Crown? So all these states were free, but there were problems as well. The ruler of Travancore, the Nizam of Hyderabad, these people wanted to have independent states, and even Nawab of Bhopal was asked to join the Constituent Assembly. So there are basically problems arising. So now we are going to see how these problems were solved. So the government's approach, we call Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel as Iron Man of India. Why? Because he led this project. So Patel's scheme, where the princely states, the dealing happened with them, and most of the princely states signed the instrument of accession and they became part of India. So For example, if you see not just 565 numbers, but even in a small area as well, there were so many princely states. If you take Orissa, today's Orissa, there were 26 small states at the time. As well as Saurashtra region of Gujarat had 14 big states and 119 small states and numerous other different administrators were there in the Saurashtra region. So that was a very complicated issue, but this was solved actually. Before 15th August 1947 itself, peaceful negotiations had brought almost all the states whose territories were contiguous to the new boundaries of India into the Indian Union. In Junagadh, the plebiscite was done. Most of the states signed instrument of accession, as I told you. So who is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel? Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he was the home minister, first home minister. He was the leader of the freedom movement. He was a follower of Mahatma Gandhi, a deputy prime minister as well. Okay, he is mainly known for the integration of the princely states in India. Okay, he was also part of the Constituent Assembly and he led so many committees within the Constituent Assembly. Example is Fundamental Rights Committee was there, Minorities Committee and also Provincial Constitution Committee was there within the Constituent Assembly. So he basically played a very important role on all these areas. So he was the first home minister as well. We need to know, and this could be a question for your CUET. Accession of Hyderabad. So the Hyderabad is a very peculiar issue. Why? Because it was the largest princely state at that time, and Hyderabad wanted to be a separate country, an independent country. So that was a very big issue. Even in safety purpose also, you can see if Hyderabad wanted to be a separate country, then there is a danger happens in the entire South India. Hence, Indian government did not want to leave Hyderabad. Okay, so it was basically surrounded. You see, it was there in today's parts of Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. So that was the very big region where Hyderabad was located. Nizam was the world's richest person as well, and he wanted to have a separate status. And movement against Nizam happened within Hyderabad. There was a peasants movement, and Nizam used his Razakar, his army, to crush this. So finally in September 1948, Indian army moved into to control the Nizam's forces. After a few days of intermittent fighting, the Nizam surrendered. This operation is called as Operation Polo. So this could be a question for your CUET. Which operation was conducted to annex Hyderabad into India? So the integration of Hyderabad, the accession of Hyderabad took place because of Operation Polo. So this could be a question for your CET. Let me talk about Manipur. So Manipur, you can see the Maharaja of Manipur was Bodha Chandra Singh. Okay, Bodha Chandra Singh was the Maharaja. This could be a data. See, for a CUET exam, you need to know the names, the years. Okay, these are the very important areas where the questions are coming. Okay, so he signed the instrument of accession on the assurance that the internal autonomy of Manipur would be maintained. So the Maharaja basically held elections in Manipur in June 1948 and the state became the constitutional monarchy. Okay, he basically signed the agreement, but it was not entirely, he did not become part of India, rather it became a constitutional monarchy. So this happens in 1948. Thus, Manipur was the first part of India to hold elections based on universal adult franchise. You know that in India, the general elections took place in 1951-52. Before that itself, in Manipur, there was an election happening on basis of universal adult franchise. So, this could be a question. Which part of India conducted elections on the basis of universal adult franchise? It was Manipur. Who was the Raja, Maharaja of Manipur? Bodha Chandra Singh. So merger agreement in September 1949 without consulting the popular elected legislative assembly of Manipur. So this happened. Okay. So finally you can see about another reorganization of states. The next issue is about reorganization of states. Now we saw about the partition and then we saw about the integration of states. Now this is reorganization of states. Today we see India with so many linguistic based states are there, and also on the basis of administration, regional aspirations also we have made so many different states. Okay, so how it happened, we are going to see the history right now. So Nagpur section of Congress in 1920, they basically maintained that Congress will not be there as a party on the basis of the British provinces, whereas they started from Nagpur session that the Congress will be there on the basis of language. So this is the starting point. Now the Congress party itself, it made within its administration that the units of Congress will be based on the language. After 1947, our leaders felt that carving out states on the basis of language might lead to disruption and disintegration. But what happened was the Vishalandra movement demanded the Telugu speaking areas should be separated from Madras province, of which they were part, and made to be a separate Andhra state. So this was the first state which was made basically, and the issue was there, Vishalandra movement. Okay, they wanted to have a separate state for Telugu speaking people. Potti Sri Ramulu, he played a very important role in the making of Andhra state. A Congress leader, he was a veteran Gandhi as well. He went on to indefinite fast, and finally his death happened after 56 days. So this movement led to the creation of the first language based state, which is Andhra state. So the Prime Minister announced the formation of a separate Andhra state on December 1952. So this could be a question. So which state was made first? On the basis of language, it was Andhra state. In which year it made? It became in December 1952. In 1953, States Reorganization Commission was appointed. See, earlier Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, these people were not in favor of making no states on the basis of language. They thought like just now we have made India, integrated all the princely states. Now we could not, go for again a division a part of India on the basis of language, because they feared that this may again, disintegrate Indian Union. Hence, they did not favor that. But there were a political uprising happening in different parts of India, within the provinces, that the government was compelled for a States Reorganization Commission 1953. So this accepted the state boundaries should reflect the boundaries of the different languages. On the basis of its report, the State Reorganization Act was passed in 1956. This is very important here. So you need to understand, keep it in mind, that the State Reorganization Act was passed in 1956. This led to the creation of 14 states and 6 union territories at that time. Creation of new states. Bombay state was created in 1960. Divided into, in 1960, basically it was Maharashtra, it was divided into Maharashtra and Gujarat. You know that there was a Bombay presidency was there was a Madras presidency, all these presidencies were there during even British period. But in 1960, the Bombay state was divided into Maharashtra and Gujarat between Marathi speaking and Gujarati speaking people. Then Punjab state in 1966, it was divided into two, Punjab and Haryana. Punjabi speaking, Punjab is for Punjabi speaking, and Haryana was for Hindi speaking people. And Meghalaya, it was carved out of Assam 1972, and Manipur and Tripura too emerged as separate states in the same year. They were Manipur and Tripura, they were basically union territories, but in 1972 they became separate states in 1972. Nagaland was made in 1963. See, these years are very important, questions can come, so you need to keep this in your data. This data you have to keep in your mind. And Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh in 1987. Sub-regions, they demand separate states as well on the basis of a separate regional culture or a complaints of a regional imbalance in development. In 2000, you can see Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand and Jharkhand. These are basically demands for separate states or regional culture. Okay, and as well as on the basis of administration, some other states were also made. So in 2000, these 3 states were made. Demands were there even today, that Vidarbha in Maharashtra, Harit Pradesh in western region of the UP, and the northern region of West Bengal, the Bodoland, like that. There are so many regions within India where even today there are people asking for separate states. So in 2013, Telangana was carved out of Andhra Pradesh. Let me tell you some of the questions to solve. So which among the following statements of the partition is incorrect? The partition of India was the outcome of two-nation theory. Okay, the question is about which is incorrect. Okay, Punjab and this is of course correct. First statement is correct. Punjab and Bengal were the two provinces based on the divided on the basis on religion. Yes, of course this was correct. This is also correct. East Pakistan, West Pakistan were not contiguous. Of course they were far away. Okay, this is also correct. And the scheme of partition included a plan for transfer of population across the border. No, this was not correct. There was no plan, okay, to transfer the people, okay, from one part from India to Pakistan or Pakistan to India. So D is the statement which is incorrect here. Match the following principles, okay. Mapping of boundaries on religion ground. This happened in India, Pakistan. Mapping of boundaries on grounds of different languages. We can say it is based on different languages. Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand or Pakistan. Okay. Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, Pakistan and Bangladesh. This is Pakistan and Bangladesh. Urdu speaking was predominantly in Pakistan. Bengali speaking was in Bangladesh. Demarcating boundaries within a country by geographical zones. This is basically Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Demarcating boundaries within country on the administrative and political grounds. This is Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh. This is for administrative and political grounds. This was made. Okay. Right. So match the following as you have already told you the years. You need to keep in mind and you can match this one, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Punjab, Haryana, when these states were made. Okay, that's all for the first chapter. I hope you enjoyed it. You just keep the datas with you and revise it, and hopefully you can address the questions from the first chapter. Thank you very much.